What's up, ladies and gents? David with Solid Up State. I'd like to throw down my 2 cents here, man, as regards the debate that went on the night before between the President of the United States, Donald J. Trump, and Democratic nominee, Joe Biden. When I watched the debate, as I think maybe many people did, and there was something, there's a lot of things that were said, was there not? But I'll tell you what, man, at the end there was a particular subject, man, that was broached, near the end of the debate, that particularly burned me, right? I was particularly incensed. I found it to be rather divisive in the way that the information was presented, right? So this is what it was, man. It was presented to the president, as to whether he would denounce white supremacy, here in the United States. And it's like, I had to take a double take and be like, what? Wait, what? Why is it that the Republicans always have to denounce white supremacy? It's almost as though they make it out to be that the white supremacists are out running amok, that they're sort of like, the dirty underarm of the Republican Party, as though that were actually the case, as though Republicans have anything to do with white supremacists, right? As though Donald Trump could say something and then the white supremacists would be like, oh, what's that? You know what I mean? Like there's somehow a relationship that therein broods beneath the surface they suggest, right? Isn't it interesting that it's always being thrown on the Republicans' doorstep, right? It's always being put at their feet. The sin, the crime, the despicable, bane opinion that is white supremacy, right? Why I've got to wonder, do the Republicans have to give an answer for this? Why do the Republicans have to give an answer for this? Do you not know, man, that it was the Republican Party that was formed for the very purpose to secure liberty for people of all skin color here in this nation, right? Do you not know that the Republican Party was founded to defend the rights of the individual, that all men are created equal, endowed by their Creator with certain inalienable rights? This was the premise, man. This was the druthers of the Republican Party. The Democratic Party, for 100 years prior, was all about, protecting the interests of the white slave owners in the United States for 100 years, from Andrew Jackson in the 1730s, rolling forward, man. And it took the Republican Party and Abraham Lincoln to come along and put an end to the abuse, right? To the abuse of our rights, to the abuse of the racist Democrats. Because racism is not the crime of white people. Racism is the crime of the Democratic Party. The Ku Klux Klan, right, was the militant street arm of the Democratic Party. And their whole purpose was to assert and defend their cultural supremacy in the South. Their cultural supremacy. Because that's what they were all about back in those days, right? Check it out. The last video we did, man. From 1918 going forward, man, the Republicans threw down 200 bills to outlaw on the federal level lynching. And the Democrats opposed it, man, all the way up into like the 1962 or something like that, 68. They never did pass the bill. They never did. In all these years, man, Democrats never could pass the bill to outlaw lynching on the federal level. And So with that being said, why is it that the Republican president Donald Trump has to give an account for white supremacy in this country? Why should he have to answer for it? You know, he's plainly and explicitly rejected and denounced it, you know, many a time in the past. And why does it keep getting brought up? Why does it keep getting thrown at his feet? You know, how is it that the question can never be presented to the Democrats? Do you, Democratic Party, apologize for the history, the overflow of history wherein racism is dropped at your feet, wherein the abuse of people because of their skin color in this country is thrown at your feet? You know, which party was opposed to civil rights legislation in the 1960s? Which party? Now, you know, it just seems like Democrats, man, they just missed out. They missed their chance to be those civil rights activists, right? You know, Richard Spencer, the notorious American white supremacist, gave his support to Joe Biden over the summer for the 2020 election, right? He gave his support to good old Joe, man. Good old Joe Biden. Good old Jim Crow Joe. That's what we should be calling him, man. Not Sleepy Joe. Jim Crow Joe. Jim Crow Joe. Maybe then we can get an answer from the Democratic Party as to, you know, what they will say. Will they denounce the history, the racist, the vile, bitter, racist history of the Democratic Party? You know, maybe we should start calling Joe Biden, you know, Jim Crow Joe. Maybe we can get an answer from them. Maybe we can get a response from them. Because I'll tell you what, man, it's not the Republicans' place. They have no need to denounce white supremacy because the Republican Party has been diametrically opposed, man, to white supremacy and the abuse of fellow citizens, man, all these years. All these years, man. The Republican Party has been opposed to the abuse of individual rights, has only sought to uphold and defend the rights of the individual. The arrogance of asking Donald Trump to, you know, that he should denounce white supremacy. You know, are you kidding me? You know, it would seem to me, man, that Jim Crow Joe should be asked that question. Do you denounce the history of the racist history of the Democratic Party here, 2020? Can we get that from you? Can we get that from the Democratic candidate? It's also concerned about equality. We're going to close here with this little meme that I found online. Hope you like it. Check it out. God bless you guys next time.